Hello, this is a memorial to the victims of illegal alien deaths in honor of the thousands of Americans who were killed each year by illegal aliens. Deaths that could have been prevented if our United States Congress and the President of the United States would have secured our borders and enforced the already existing U.S. immigration laws. The list of victims is huge. However, we're going to start with Catherine Kate. She's 32 years old. She was killed in San Francisco. Basically, a previously reported illegal alien from Mexico had been charged with the murder of this particular young lady in San Francisco. He had been deported 5 times before he was actually caught killing someone. Bobby Berry was 59 years old. He was allegedly killed by yet another illegal alien. He was previously deported from Mexico, and he'd been arrested for killing Berry on June 21st in a traffic death. Unfortunately, this case is still pending. Michael Grubbs, 63 years old. He was a father and a grandfather. He was allegedly killed by yet another illegal alien, this one from Bulgaria. He was arrested in a hit-and-run accident in Las Vegas, Nevada. He had been driving illegally, the illegal alien, who had no license, no insurance. Grant Ronnebeck. He was 21 years old. An illegal, unauthorized Mexican national who was considered a dreamer is allegedly charged with his crime of death. He was arrested January 22nd of 2015 for first-degree murder. This young man, Grant, who was just working inside of a Quick Trip, was killed by this illegal alien because he was in the country illegally. It's another crime and another shame. Jamie Oxdine. He was allegedly killed by yet another illegal alien living in the United States. This happened yet again with a illegal driving with no license, no insurance, and of course driving while impaired. It's another DUI by illegal. Mary Ann Oxendine. She was allegedly killed by an illegal alien living in the United States. This illegal alien had basically criminal charges, including but not limited to 3 counts of felony death by vehicle, driving while impaired, and driving without a license, and of course driving with no insurance. The police alleged that the illegal alien ran a stop sign and hit the entire family's SUV, killing all 3 occupants. Authorities also alleged that the illegal alien was intoxicated at the time of the crash. So yet again, another illegal alien by DUI death. Shane was her son. Parker Moore, believed to be killed by an illegal alien who was in the United States with no visa. Parker Moore was murdered at a 7-Eleven convenience store. He was shot and killed by an illegal alien who refused to drop his knife. And an autopsy determined that Moore died from stab wounds from the illegal alien. Amos Jones was killed by an illegal alien. Actually, multiple. There were 7 illegal aliens that had been arrested for the brutal stabbing murder of Amos Milburn Jones. He was a homeless man, and his body was found in Suitland, Maryland. Authorities believe that the 7 assailants had beaten and stabbed Jones to death after Jones got into an argument with illegal aliens. 2 of which of these illegal aliens were MS-13 gang members. They're currently being held without bond. Naomi Mercury, daughter, student, friend. She was killed by a previously deported illegal alien who was living in North Carolina. They have been arrested and charged with the murder of the 18-year-old Naomi. And prosecutors allege that the illegal alien has a history of driving impaired and was once deported in 2011. And the illegal alien complained that he has no money and he will be defended by a public defender at taxpayers' expense. Brittany Williams, killed by an illegal alien who had been previously deported. Guzman Clasios is charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor death, 2 counts of felony hit and run, driving with a suspended license, and failing to stop at a red light. Yet again, this person had no insurance, driving on a suspended license, which I don't believe they should have had a license at all if they were illegals. Another death by an illegal. Deputy Mike Davis. Deputy Davis was killed by an illegal who was twice deported. An illegal alien from Mexico. He has been charged, this illegal has been charged with the shooting murder of the Placer County Sheriff investigator Michael Davis. And this was in California. The defendant, the illegal alien, had been previously living in Salt Lake City, went on a crime spree that included carjackings, attempted murder, and murder. Investigator Davis was shot by this defendant after the police deputy stopped to investigate the illegal and his wife, which were wanted for murder of a Sacramento deputy, Danny Oliver. So this is a rampage. I'm sure many of you haven't heard about this. Luis Enrique Monroy Bracamonte. This illegal went on a crime spree. I'm sure you don't hear about any of that. And this is the other officer that was killed by Luis Enrique Monroe Bracamonte. Deputy Sheriff Daniel Oliver, gave his life to protect us, but was actually killed by this illegal alien from Mexico who was previously deported. The 14-count criminal complaint charging this illegal says that the shooting of the motorist and carjacking of victim Anthony Davis, the murder of the Placer County deputy, and the wounding of another deputy, among other charges. Mexican national, which means illegal alien in the United States, Monroe Bracamonte, was previously convicted in Arizona for selling illegal narcotics in 1997 and subsequently deported. He then re-entered the United States at some point and was deported a second time in 2001. At some point, he illegally returned to the United States a third time and was arrested in the West Valley City in Utah for hit and run, and was apparently not deported back to Mexico. Delilah McDaniel. She was killed by an illegal alien from Mexico. Basically, another crash that resulted in the death of an American. Police reported that Garcia's Jeep had failed to make a yield and crossed into the path of Mr. and Mrs. McDaniels on their motorcycle, resulting in a crash. She died at a hospital last August 2014. Garcia doesn't speak any English. He's been communicating via an interpreter. So a man who doesn't speak English, doesn't know how to read English language, is driving on our streets. Another death by alien and a vehicle. Officer Darrell, riots. He was killed by an illegal alien, Jesus Cabrera Molina. He has been found guilty of negligent homicide in a hit-and-run death of Phoenix, Arizona peace officer Darrell Reyes, who was only 29. The illegal alien was driving under the influence of cocaine and alcohol when he was struck the officer who was conducting a separate DUI stop. So, yet another death by DUI. Illegal, driving in the streets. Diane Jones died at the hands of an unauthorized Guatemalan alien illegally living in the United States. He was arrested in August of 2014 for the deaths of Diane Jones, Arnett Chandler, and Ajani Jones. Since this illegal was arrested, he has been charged with 3 counts of involuntary manslaughter and drunk driving. Diane Jones and the other victims were returning from a family reunion when Velasquez's vehicle hit their vehicle head-on, killing all 3 victims. It, of course, was alleged that the illegal alien was intoxicated at the time of the crash. The Guatemalan national reportedly had previous run-ins with local law enforcement, including being guilty of driving without a license 3 or 4 times. He also had prior unspecified immigration violations on his record, and he'd been living in the United States for 17 years. Another illegal kill to an American with a vehicle drunk driving DUI. Arnett Chandler was 58 when an illegal alien, another Guatemalan, oh no wait, this is the same death. I'm sorry, I apologize. Same with Ms. Jones, who was only 12 at the time of her death. Wanda Faye Beach. Wanda Faye Beach was allegedly killed by an illegal alien who was living in Kentucky. He was arrested for the hit-and-run death of Wanda Faye Beach. Mrs. Beach was a passenger in a Chevy Blazer when a witness alleged that the illegal Angel Alberno Mahia was speeding and caused the Blazer to go off the road and crash. The crash impact apparently threw Mrs. Beach out of the vehicle when it overturned several times. She was placed into the hospital, but she was pronounced dead due to her injuries. Of course, there has not been any details given about toxicology tests. Leon Turpin was killed by an illegal alien, Jesus Pelico. Mr. Turpin was killed by a Guatemalan who was here illegally. The illegal alien was living in New Philadelphia, Ohio. He was doing a hit-and-run crash that killed Mr. Turpin. So basically another illegal alien. Of course he had no driver's license. Of course he had no insurance. And of course he didn't stop after the accident. He just ran. Sergeant Brandon Mendoza. Sergeant Mendoza was killed by an illegal alien, Raul Silva Corona, who was an illegal alien. Sergeant Mendoza was a Mesa Police Department officer. Of course, Corona was drunk driving at the time, driving the wrong way on an Arizona freeway when he slammed into Mendoza's vehicle. The impact killed both the illegal and the officer. The reason that you didn't hear about this is because there was no trial or jury selection. It's just another victim. The officer died at the hands of an illegal alien drunk driving. Officer Jose Andy Chavez. He was killed by an illegal alien from the Philippines. It was actually a triple murder of this police officer and 2 other victims. The illegal alien by the last name Mista is alleged to have shot the officer Chavez and the other victims at a Fremont, Ohio bar. The illegal alien had gotten into an altercation with a police officer's wife, which escalated into the shootings. Of course, the illegal fled and was later arrested by police without incident. Three-year-old Zane Thurber was killed by an illegal alien from El Salvador. The illegal alien, Manuel de Jesus Guinea, was arrested and charged with vehicular homicide and DUI for the death of 3-year-old Zane Thurber. Police have said that the illegal alien, Manuel, was driving at a high rate of speed when he crashed his pickup truck into the car driven by Matt Holder, Zane's father. The crash killed the 3-year-old at the accident scene. Zane's father and a 7-year-old brother survived the crash and were taken to the hospital for treatment. A witness had to hold the illegal at the accident until police arrived. The illegal alien was given a valid driving license and a privilege card by the state of Utah. The state of Utah has been allowing illegal aliens to drive since 2005. Although Utah gave this illegal a special license to drive, this illegal still had no insurance. No auto insurance. Now Zane's family is collecting donations for the funeral costs by an illegal DUI death. Once again, death by illegal. Lauren Bump was 24 years old when an illegal Christian Bautista had stabbed her to death. Lauren's body was found in a pool of blood on a trail inside of a park in San Antonio, Texas. The reason the authorities believe that he stabbed her is because they had been dating back in 2005, and he was recently released from Huntsville prison after serving 6 years for aggravated robbery. Mrs. Bump was a graduate student of Harding University in the physician's assistant program. She could have been a doctor's helper. She could have been a doctor. Now she's dead by the hands of an illegal. Lenny James Shea was killed by an illegal alien from South Korea. He was killed in 2013. The illegal alien, Vanna Nay, also used a vehicle in hit-and-run crash, which police say Nay's Toyota Camry hit Shea, the victim, who was crossing a street. Nay faces charges of reckless homicide, leaving the scene with an accident at the scene of an accident, and failing to provide aid to Shea, whose body was left lying in the road to die. Witnesses of the crime said Nay not only ran over him once, but he also ran over him when he left the scene of the accident. Nay was eventually identified as Shea's killer after investigators found a tip that he was driving a Toyota Camry, and he refused to go back to his job. Another DUI hit and run by an illegal. Abigail Robinson was only 11. She was killed by an illegal alien, by Cynthia Garcia Cisneros and Mario Escovaria. They both have been arrested in the hit-and-run death of 2 young children. The sisters, Abigail and her sister Anna, were killed in Forest Grove, Oregon, by Cisneros, who was an illegal. She had struck the girls with her vehicle, and while the children were playing in their yard, Cisneros yet drove away from the accident. The 6-year-old died at the scene, while the 11-year-old died later at a hospital from her injuries. The police were led from a tip to the recovery of the vehicle, the Nissan Pathfinder, which hit the children. They were arrested the following day. They were charged with not only the deaths, but tampering with evidence and lying to authorities. Illegal aliens killing American children. Anna Dieter was 6 years old. She was killed by this person, Cisneros. Heather M. Coble, 25 years old, was killed by an illegal alien, Agustin Marcias Marquez. He was an illegal alien from Mexico. He pleaded guilty to killing Heather and her sister-in-law, Madison Perry Cobble, on New Year's Eve in 2012. In addition to the homicide convictions, the illegal was also convicted of DUI and other charges related to the December crash in which Marquez failed to stop at an intersection and crashed into the victims, who were just riding in their car, driving down the street in American streets. Another illegal. But one thing, Mrs. Cobb, who lived in North Carolina, was pregnant at the time of her death. So not only did it take the life of this woman, it took the unborn baby's life as well. Death by illegal and DUI. Madison Perry died also. Luis Sullivan was killed by an illegal. Luis was killed according to a plea agreement agreed to on April 2014. Sergio Martinez Perez pled guilty to first-degree murder to avoid a death penalty conviction for the murder of Luis Sullivan. Sources say that the illegal alien was working as a roofer in the Omaha, Nebraska area and was originally arrested for the charge of first-degree murder, first-degree sexual assault, and first-degree assault and burglary, and the death of Louise. This illegal alien, who was 19 years old, raped a 93-year-old woman before slaughtering her and killing her. He brutally beat this woman to death after raping her. He was 19. It was reported that he admitted to attacking the senior citizen in her own home, beating her and raping her until she passed out. They say that this illegal beat this woman so badly there was blood all over the bedroom, and the cheekbones and nose and teeth had been broken from the violent beating. They don't know how this woman knew this boy, but somehow he entered the home through an unlocked door. The son said she was the sweetest lady you'd ever want to meet. Of course, Martinez Perez had to use an interpreter because he doesn't speak a word of English. Chad Nelson was 29 years old when a Guatemalan illegal by the name of Mateo Ralios basically killed this man, Chad Nelson. And once again, it's vehicular manslaughter with a vehicle. According to the Plain Dealer New article, the victim was attacked by the illegal who was working at an Akron restaurant driving a stolen Ford Fusion. He veered left of the center and crashed into Eric Kazervik's Chrysler, in which Nelson was a passenger. Nelson was injured in the crash and transported to Akron General Medical Center, but later died from his injuries. The driver was also hospitalized for his injuries, but eventually released. And of course, Mr. Nelson was a veteran, United States Army, serving tours of duty in both Iraq and Afghanistan, and before his death, he was a truck driver for a company that's an American company. He is survived by his wife and parents. Another tragic death, a U.S. killed by illegals, a U.S. veteran. Serenity Reedy was 9 months old when a suspected illegal alien, Jose Luis Aguilar, was charged with first-degree manslaughter in the brutal death of this 9-year-old. Aguilar, the illegal, reportedly sexually assaulted and beat this baby of 9 months old. Aguilar had access to the child because he was the boyfriend of Reedy's mother. Aguilar became a suspect after he was missing along with the mother's money and vehicle. Investigators quickly traced and apprehended Aguilar at the Greyhound bus station as he was attempting to escape back to Mexico. The autopsy of the baby Reedy indicated that the infant was sexually assaulted, as well as having multiple skull fractures, indicating the child was viciously beaten to death. Dwayne Polk was killed by an illegal alien by the name of Andres Munoz. He was an illegal alien from Mexico living in Houston, Texas. He was arrested and faces intoxication and manslaughter charges in the death of this 47-year-old American citizen. He was a 16-year department veteran and was killed when the illegal driver was driving drunk in an intersection and crashed into Polk's vehicle. Polk was on his way home from work when he was killed. Apparently, Munoz was already convicted in 2012 for drunk driving and gun violation and was deported in July 2012. But obviously, the illegal returned to the United States to kill yet another victim.